Hey everyone, it's Quad, and I will bring you once again another 1 vs 1 replay, this time between LiquidHuk and some random Zerg on the Korean ladder, who I will dub for the purpose of this cast, Mr. Cuddlypuff. I cannot read Korean, nor do I plan on learning Korean anytime soon, so unless someone can provide me with a accurate translation, I will call him Sir Cuddlypuff, and that will be his title, and that's why this replay will be titled LiquidHuk vs Sir Cuddlypuff. It is not his name. I don't think he would be very happy with me calling him Sir Cuddlypuff. I don't think he'll actually see this game, so I don't really care. And I'd rather just call him Sir Cuddlypuff than the Blue Zerg, which is what he is, spawning in the bottom left corner of Shakur's Plateau. But yeah, like I said, I really don't care. It's not going to make much of a difference, and it's just that much more fun. Hopefully funny for you and funny for me. I do enjoy this. But anyways, this is LiquidHuk. If you haven't heard of him, why the hell not? He's amazing. He's arguably one of the best Protoss in the world. He is a Code S player, although he has now been moved into the up-down bracket. I'm not quite sure what that is. I don't know, it's something he's not very happy about, as I've seen from his tweets, or at least those tweets posted on StarCraft Reddit, which, if you have not gone to StarCraft Reddit, go to it. They're awesome, they're amazing, and for the most part they're funny, and you'll also just be kept up with all that StarCraft news goodness. And anyways, Huck will be going for an early expansion, most likely chucking down a Forge very soon, and Huck also will not be going for any of his signature cannon rushes, as if you have seen Huck stream at all, he does quite a lot on the ladder, especially against Zerg who go 15 hatch. He is able to punch them quite easily by getting that in. Huck also with the famous probe harass, just making sure that this one mineral node here will not be mined at all, and yeah, like, you can just see by that, like, very few pro players actually do this. It doesn't help that much, but Huck saying, hey, I'm Huck, I'm awesome, it's gonna help a little bit. I may as well do it because I'm good enough to actually do it. And so here we go. He will be going back straight to it, continuing to probe harass. Meanwhile, Mr. Cuddlypuff is using one of his drones to try to put an end to the probe harass. Meanwhile, Huck will take 5 minerals and be on his way as the pool does finish, and the Nexus has been put down. Meanwhile, the Forge has just begun, and Huck actually taking a little bit of a risk there that I kind of like. He knows that his opponent went for that 14 hatch, and so Zerglings will be out a little bit sooner, and they actually might be out. It's kind of close. On a map like Caldrum Altar, you can go for the Forge on like 17 and be reasonably safe from like the first 4 or 5 Zerglings that come out. But on Shakur's Plateau, positions are definitely a bit closer, so this cannon might not be done in time. The cannon does take 40 seconds, and the Zerglings are already moving across the map. I don't think Sir Cuddlypuff has scouted at all. No, he has not. He just knows that Huck is in the top right position, so it is cross positions quite obviously, and Huck, ooh, I like this. He has put this probe plugging the gap instead of the Zealot. He will be plugging the gap with a Zergling, or a probe, excuse me. The Nexus has finished, and actually Huck hit a probe down here, and which was spotted off by this Overlord, and was killed off by these couple Zerglings, so there will be no hidden probe pylon or cannon antics at all, or at least for the time being. And the probe has moved away from the gap. Zerglings might actually go for it. There is only the one cannon. Cybernetic score is down, and probe does move back into the gap. Zerglings move forward. One gets killed off by this cannon. Speed is almost done for Mr. Cuddlypuff, and second Zergling is dead, so not quite sure. Probe does get moved forward and will probably fly these cannons. Yes, the probe does go down. Meanwhile, Huck is just continuing to make probes and has not put down any of significant significance yet. Meanwhile, equally, ooh, Sir Cuddlypuff, what are you doing? This is actually a fairly quick lair. He does not need that lair quick at all. I don't know. I'm a little. He be thinking up of something, I think. Yeah. So, for the meantime, there's no way of telling what he will be doing. He has only grabbed his original gas. Meanwhile, Huck has not grabbed any additional gas. The second cannon is down just for safety, and he will begin chrono boosting at those sentries so we will not die to any sort of big Baneling Roach all-in antics. And Huck throwing down another gateway, most likely a few more going down. No Stargate as of yet. A pylon as well, just incredibly noteworthy and deserves me commentating on it. Meanwhile, I actually really like this from Mr. Cuddlypuff. He is, Sir Cuddlypuff. He is not a Mr., he is a Sir. He has been knighted by the Queen, and I will refer to him by his proper title. He has this Overlord here, spotting these two gases. That's actually cool. So he does know when these gases will go down, and that can be an indication of what type of tech path Huck is doing. And Cuddlypuff actually only sees this one gas being taken, so that actually no. Now the second gas is so. I don't know. I was gonna say if there was that third gas, it would most likely be some sort of gateway push thing, as you don't really need all 4 gases to do a good 5-gate push, which Huck actually might be doing, as he is moving up to 5 gateways, as these gateways do get added on in this gateway finishes. Meanwhile, Cuddlypuff is going for Hydralisks. Hydralisk drops, maybe? He has not started the Overlord drops yet. He has gotten the Hydralisk Den yet now, and has gotten the Evo Chamber for the quick +1, but getting the Overlord... Oh! He actually might be going for a Creep Highway Hydralisk bus. He's getting the... Okay, this is what I'm thinking right now. Right now, he has not grabbed his 3rd base, so this is definitely going to be some sort of attack, as about 2 Hydralisks are being made, more to come surely. And Huck is going for Twilight Cam, so most likely will be going for Blink or even DTs. Maybe he's loading from Inca. Cha-cha! Big hip shot there. If you did not get that reference, go watch the GSL finals. Inca used DTs, and I will not say how successful or unsuccessful they were. Well, I probably partially gave that away, but just never mind. And meanwhile, actually, just go back to the game, and it will be Blinked, and a Roach one also going down for Mr. Cuddlypuff. And this is just what I'm thinking right now based on what he's doing. He's got the Overlord speed, he has the Hydralisk range upgrade almost done, as well as the +1 missile attacks halfway through. And Creep Spread is actually getting... It's okay for now. He could be advancing a little bit more, but what Cuddlypuff might be doing is just getting the speed on the Overlord so he can get a good creep highway going here and just attack straight up with a Hydralisk, although I'm not quite sure how effective this will be, especially since Huck is getting Blink, which is actually surprisingly good against Hydralisk, despite the fact that Hydralisk do kill Stalkers quite handily. But with Blink, Stalkers do quite well against Hydralisk, as Stalkers just have so much more health than Hydralisk, actually double their health, but about half their damage, interestingly enough. So it will be interesting to see what Cuddlypuff does do. He is making some Roaches now, as he does expect this 6-gate or 5-gate pressure. It is a 5-gate Blink pressure, and Cuddlypuff I do not think has scouted that out at all. And there we go, the Blink has started, and Hug now getting to work on these Hydras, only losing a few stocks, actually losing a couple more stocks than I thought, but these Hydras are nice and orange and yellow. He did lose 1 or 2, I believe. Not too many. This creep spread has been halted for the most part. Queen, so not quite enough energy to throw down any more tumors. Third base is taken now by Cuddlypuff quite late. I do not think that was a part of his plan, and Huck also grabbing his third base at almost the same time, so this third timing will favor Huck, although Cuddlypuff is continuing to make a large amount of units. 15 Roaches coming out, so he will be pushing most likely soon enough, or just an overreaction in general. Excuse me while I sip water. Really need that water to talk. It's a natural resource, it's quite needed, and I will not say anything more about water, as we do now have Overlord drops coming. So maybe, I don't think Cuddlypuff, neglected that or not. Most likely he's just, getting them now to help his aggression, as, I think he overreacted to a possible aggression from Huck, and he knows that, so he's looking to find a way to become more aggressive, as this frontal assault most likely will not work, although the Hydras will do some work on this gateway army. Roaches just finished speed of a big blink up to 1 or 2 being cancelled. That was a bit of a overestimation by Huck. Force fields will go down. These force fields are actually great. All these Roaches are isolated. That Roach there not able to shoot at all and does go down, and this force will be killed off by Huck for the most part, although he does need to be careful of his sentry numbers, and more Roaches will stream in to their death, and big blink forward actually, just as a bunch of Roaches do come in, and more forces will go down to kind of isolate. Those forces weren't the most helpful. Few sentries are going down, and they're actually running very, very low on energy. There are actually no more force shields yet, so Huck is forced to retreat and warp in more Stalkers to fend this off. He should be able to fend this off, and Huck actually, with a crucial miss, kills one of his own Stalkers and loses a lot of time for DPS, and these 3 sentries are pulled back, and actually only 2 sentries now alive for Huck. And Huck also losing that 1 Stalker from that blink forward. Huck being a little careless with his blinking here. He's going a bit too far forward, I find. And Huck has almost finished +2 ground attack, as has his opponent, Sir Cuddlypuff. I almost said Mr. I forgot the honorific, and I really hope he will forgive me. Meanwhile, Huck is finally getting his or not finally, he's actually getting his robotics bay at a fairly reasonable time, especially being that he has seen Hydralisk out, and Huck also will be still patrolling around with these stalkers, seeing if there's anything they can pick off, just making sure there's nothing on the towers. He does have the observer here, and he will begin to clear out this creep. One roach almost moves to its death, and this one creep tumor will be sniped off. Cuddlypuff is backing off away. These overlords are moving up down here. That could be some sort of drop coming soon. I'm not quite sure yet, as they are beginning to congregate. The third base is just now getting saturated, or not even really saturated, as we can go into the units tab and see that Cuddlypuff is stuck on less than 50 drones. So he's definitely committed to any sort of aggression. He must have stopped making drones quite a while ago, and I did not notice it at that time, but Cuddlypuff is actually in an ever-increasingly worse position, as he is falling further and further behind on tech. Yeah. Sorry about that, I cut out over a little bit of problems with recording, but anyways, yeah, Cuddlypuff is getting in an ever worse position as he falls further and further behind on tech and units, and Cuddlypuff is going in for this attack. Nothing yet in these overlords, which I do not like. If this was a two-pronged attack, it would be much more effective, and Huck will most likely be able to defend this. Actually, this is going to be quite close, as more and more Hydras do come in. Blink is continuing to be used, although not at this moment as I mention it, and there we go, there is a blink, and it's more actually doing some work, taking out quite a number of roaches, and will unfortunately be pulled down, or taken out. Colossus does spawn, and this should be enough to clean up this force, and Huck is just a little bit behind, but he is nonetheless far ahead in the workers, as we can check in the units tab. He is almost 20 workers ahead, and these Hydras will be sniped off by these blink stalkers, and Huck in definitely a commanding position right now, as just the longer this game goes on, the further and further ahead he will be. Thermal lance is beginning to be made, more Colossus are coming out, and there's no spire yet for Sir Cuddlypuff, and that's really what Sir Cuddlypuff needs right now. If he does not have a spire, he will die, and these Hydras are rallied here, and Huck might be able to take them out if he does notice, and that would... Right now, for Sir Cuddlypuff, every unit counts. He needs everything he gets in. Here we go. The overlords are now finally loaded up with units, and they will begin to make their way in. And Cuddlypuff continuing to make roaches, and he does pull back these 4 Hydras, saving them a grisly, gruesome, painful death. And the drop will be coming in soon. +3 weapon has started for Huck. No extra technology has gone down for Cuddlypuff. And the drop was down. Meanwhile, Huck is actually all the way over here with all of his stalkers taking out creep tumors. And Huck only has Colossi and a couple of Zealots here to defend this. These 2 Colossus up here, for some reason, they are making their way here. The Zealots are going to be coming in just one at a time. Badly choked there. This Hydras barely takes any real damage. And these Colossus will begin doing work on these roaches. And actually, right here, these units are they're terribly positioned here for these Colossus. This one roach will go down, and Cuddlypuff, with actually a complete lack of unit control or just paying attention to because he is attacking right here, and Huck is defending this with blink stalkers. One blink stalker does go up there and will be out of this battle, and Huck has cleaned up this drop in the back, although there are 1 or 2 Zerglings here, and the Colossus will come down. Now this one Colossus might actually get sniped off by these roaches. It lives, and Huck does defend this. He does not lose his Nexus, just loses some shield, and he does still have some blink stalkers alive. And now Huck's actually going to go for it. He's going to take out all these Hydras. You cannot retreat with Hydras, especially against blink stalkers. Blink does go in, and Huck actually there again shoots one of his own stalkers, but these 3 Colossus is the real threat. The spire has just been started not too long ago by Sir Cuddlypuff, and he does not have any corruptors out quite yet, and I don't know how Cuddlypuff is going to deal with this. He might try to take out one of these Colossus. Actually, a great blink by Huck makes a wall in front of these Colossus, keeps all 3 of them alive. The observer is coming in, so creep tumors will begin getting killed, and Cuddlypuff is well below in the food count. I have no real idea how he's going to come for it. 4 Colossus, there's a blink stalker army, which will just absolutely never die, and Overlord is being blinked at, and there is a GG from Sir Cuddlypuff, and Huck showing why he is a pro player, and Sir Cuddlypuff why he is some person who I have no idea who he is, because he is a Korean name, and yeah. I'm still not quite sure what Cuddlypuff was planning to do with that initial Hydralisk. Maybe he was actually he was assuming that Huck would go for a Void Ray Phoenix stuff, as is often the case off of a Forge Expand, and he was hoping to possibly blind counter it. That is one thing that I now realize could have been it, but frankly, I didn't like that because he spent way too much money that he did not grab his third base, and he fell really far behind in workers, especially as Huck took that really quick third at what 9-10 minutes. That's incredibly fast for Protoss, especially against a Zerg who went Hydralisk really quick. And I don't know, Huck showing once again why he's a pro player, and he's able to defend this defend, go back, punch Sir Cuddlypuff in the face, and take the win for Team Liquid or just himself in this random ladder game. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you all next time.